So, hey everybody, welcome to Two Guys Edit Podcast, episode 2.
Episode 2.
Untitled this time, but still
we
we're
didn't really
here.
have a title.
Well, it was we sort of did. We were talking about the film that you watched, Baby Driver. Oh my gosh, which I still haven't seen yet. I need to go see it.
You need to see.
I have no time because I've had no time. I've been out of town. I've been like running around.
You've had a busy life right now.
Yeah, it's been busy. Craziness and just trying to finish projects and stuff. Likewise for you. You've been running around, a little vacationing too.
A little bit, yeah. Trying to get some vacation in. But yeah, I'm excited for you. Like right now, you have a bunch of projects on the go.
Yeah, a bunch of projects on the go. I have this NASA project that I'm just finishing up. It's a little short film, just a short film about like talking about how it's to encourage people to get interested in the exploration of space, whether it's rocket spaceships or the scientific approach, which is like going back in time and looking at the Big Bang and looking at different things like that, and also like chemical makeups of stars and all those things. So I'm going in that direction, and just I interviewed a woman from CERN who worked at CERN previously, and
you're telling me that she was a really exciting person to interview.
Oh, just exciting to she was just like a thrilling person to talk to, because she just, that's her passion, you know. That's what she just loves to do, and she didn't find it until later on in life, which was great. Which is cool for her, because she never knew that she could be working at the most premier place for science, which is CERN, you know. So yeah, just super exciting. Got her to ask some questions. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I know I'm always curious, but like, how did you get that job? Because like, that's a really prestigious...
Friend of a friend. Friend of a friend. Yeah. Just a friend of a friend.
So classic, using that network.
Using the network. I just said, he knew that I had experience of doing stuff like that, and he's like, there's these openings for certain projects, because there's several people making one. For different parts, so like for different types of subjects in the NASA world. So yeah, that's how I got through. Friend for friend, you gotta network, you know. Like he's like, I've known him for 10 years, maybe 12 years. So like, you know, it's finally I put in my card. Well, I didn't even put my card in, he messaged me, so yeah, it was pretty amazing in that matter. Really solid. Yeah, it was pretty cool. And then just finishing up other little projects here and there. I was in New York filming for the New York Flute Center, which is like this flute center for New York, and we did like some, you know, traditional documentary shots and stuff, like, you know, like the interview and
the classic shots of
New
York,
profile,
you know?
Classic shot of New York, you know, Lincoln Center. I ran around in 40-degree weather, getting B-roll shots everywhere, like just carrying all my equipment with me, because I couldn't leave it anywhere, because everywhere is so small and already packed to the brim. Like that place where we were filming, I'm like, can I leave my stuff here? He's like, you shouldn't, because I might leave and then it's locked up and then you lose your stuff.
You just like, no,
because
really
I live in I live in Brooklyn. I'm not going to come back. You might as well come back tomorrow. I'm like, okay, I'll just pack everything in my bag. So I went to B&H and I had to get new light stands, so I forgot my light stands. So I got some light stands. So I have now an overabundance of light stands now, which is a bit crazy. And then but New York was great. Getting B-roll footage for New York is like this like candy land, you know, like you'll never run out of places.
Literally just a kid in the candy store.
You just point your camera anywhere, and it's New York. You know you have now footage.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
I know. I'm really looking forward to the next time I'm in New York now, because this is gonna be the first time
any
I'm
weather
going to
too.
New York. I love New York City, and it's incredible. Yeah. But now that I know B&H is there and I'm doing all this film stuff, it is going to be the most exciting but also terrifying experience, I think, walking into that store.
Oh yeah.
Because I can't spend all that money. It's just like, there's so much equipment.
I sat in there for an hour. I had gotten my purchase right away. Like I picked it up.
That's
and
a
I'm
smart
like,
move.
I picked it up. I was like, I ordered online. I know exactly what I wanted. I'm not gonna buy anything. I'm gonna leave right away. Then I'm like, look, I get my stuff. I talk to the guy, and I turn around, and it's like, you know, like Candyland. So I'm like, okay, I'll go upstairs and check out the drones. I'll go upstairs and check out the tripods. An hour and a half later, I'm like holding tripods in my hands. I'm like, should I get this one? Should I get this one? I'm like, oh no, what am I doing here?
You've gone down the rabbit hole.
Oh, should I get a Blackmagic 4K camera? I'm like, what am I doing here? Oh no, oh no.
I know.
So it's a really dangerous place, but it's always full. It's truly a special place. So I love New York. It was quick. It was really 36 hours. Yeah. We drove there. We got our stuff. Got all the footage. Got about 3 or 4 hours of footage that I haven't went through yet. But
that's cool.
Cool little project.
Yeah, an idea. What's the one piece of equipment that you dream of day and night?
All the time? That's good.
Yeah.
That's a
I
good
know
one.
personally, I saw the DaVinci Resolve color board.
Yeah, color board's cool.
Yeah, it's
I've seen it.
it's way out of any kind of realistic
Yeah.
short-term purchase.
Yeah,
but I
totally.
think that would be the coolest thing, just to actually be able to play.
It's sort of like the mixing board at a record studio, you know, like that. You know, when you see the big mixing board, that's like, because I'm a big audio guy, so I used to have one of those big mixing boards from like, I can't remember the brand. It was something.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was my biggest purchase, and then for like 5 years I was using that to record everywhere, carrying it with me and stuff too. Like, you know, it was ridiculous. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't want to. Then I sold it, but. That's the same mentality. I can imagine having that type of thing, like looking at that board. Yeah, that board's pretty amazing. For me, the best equipment I ever wanted, it would have to be it would have to be it would have to be commercial, like real industry standard lighting equipment by RE, like the RE LEDs,
Yeah.
the RE LEDs
You are
that
a
came
big
out.
light fan.
Yeah, big light fan now. I've fallen into light like I'd have with audio, so like. Yeah, that's my big thing. Like, just the whole cinema standard RE, it's like $48,000, $50,000 or something like that.
So yeah, a pretty penny.
But it's a solid investment, though.
Of course,
because
it's-
those things last forever.
Yeah.
and
you can light anything at that point.
You can light anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can light anything. Literally, you can light city streets. That's how big it is. Like
Yeah.
some of them are so big that they light city streets. You need a truck. You need to rent trucks to bring them around.
Yeah.
That's how much there is. Like I think there's like 36 lights in one pack, like in that whole set. Like it's gigantic.
36 lights. Oh my
Yeah,
god.
you can buy it from B&H. They have it. They're like,
Yeah.
here you go. I'm like, now you need a truck all the time.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need a truck. I need something that's more, because they
Compact,
still don't.
yeah.
Yeah, because they still don't use, from as far as I know, they don't use. They still use Fresnels, I think, or however you pronounce it, like a Fresnel or Fresnel, like the big hot lights. Instead of LEDs for the gigantic ones that light up city streets when you want darkness to look like light and all types of other manipulations and plus then you would also need like screens. Like screens are so expensive, like industrial screens, like for blocking light. That would be another dream purchase. Those are two things. I have little ones, but like industrial ones, like ones for real shoots.
Yeah.
Like if you want to do a real like short documentary film that requires like you can film anytime, like
a
you know.
real passion project that's gonna be something that you're gonna show the grandkids.
or a series. You know, if it was a series of like 10 episodes, I'm like, okay, I really need to invest in this type of stuff because
It's gonna show in.
it's going to show,
in the end
and
product,
then
yeah.
it could be brought to a major production, and then that way I still have the equipment, but I mean, like, you know, it shows that you kind of know your stuff a bit,
Of
which
course.
is important. But that's a good question. Oh my gosh, yeah, that's my dream thing: lighting kit, big lighting kits. But you can also like, there's so many great people I met even at Buffer and at other film festivals, even at Toronto Film Festival several years ago.
Yeah.
There are people, they're independent filmmakers that just make do with like 3-piece lighting kits by Ari or by whatever it's called, Aperture, all those companies, you know, that make really good independent films, like, you know, drama or anything like that. And they're like a one-man band, and they do the editing, they do all those things. But like, it's very impressive what you can do just with 3-piece lighting kit of $1,000, even $500. Like some guy had a kit that was $500. He told me, he's like, I've been using it for years. No one even bats an eye.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Once you have it down, I think you can understand the placement.
Yeah. But I also just want to say, you got a little cough.
Yeah, I know. I've had a
my.
cough for the last 2 weeks. So.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I've been holding it pretty well on the podcast so far.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Lots of fluids. You have to drink lots of
that
fluids.
is why I have my nice
We
coffee,
got these
water.
nice lattes, and we're here at La Finca, which is like one of the most, I think, the most beautiful and most amazing
You're telling
coffee
me
shop
that
in
Obama
town.
was here?
Obama was here a couple
gets
weeks
his coffee
ago. He
here?
gets his coffee here
Yeah.
when he's in town.
So we're
you
telling
know?
the secret to everyone.
Yeah,
This
these
is
are
a
where all the
place-
celebrities go.
yeah.
Like I'll say that I've seen some movie stars here that live here. That
Not gonna name drop,
Not going to
apparently,
name
but-
drop who they are.
Yeah.
But people do come here because it's nice and quiet. It's it's really kind of
Those are great
on the
for
side.
working.
It's great for
I find
working.
that, yeah.
Internet's good. People are amazing here. Absolutely
Yeah.
amazing people. Very, very friendly.
Yeah, I walked in and they were like, "Oh, you're late for your podcast." I was
Yeah.
like, "How do you know I'm
Yeah,
doing
how
this?"
do you
and then
know
like
that?
I look down and I have my camera, so I'm like, "Oh, of course."
Well, there's
You know.
there's your sign across your
Yeah.
chest right there. You know.
Yeah.
So it's an amazing place, and you definitely should come here. It's on de Bleury and just off of René Lévesque. Yeah, I used to come here a lot, and I still do, like off and on. But like they remember your face. It's amazing, and they're very
Always
friendly.
friendly service.
Super friendly service, and the coffee and the lattes and the food, spectacular. And you can even rent the spaces out here and stuff like that. There's 2 like office spaces like type of things, and then the general area, and there's even a patio too, I think, in the back. So
I think you're right.
yeah. And so yeah, like dream equipment, yeah, that's something.
Yeah.
You know, it was very hard to not splurge at B&H, but like, yeah. But B-roll footage, I love B-roll footage. Like I can't stop collecting enough. I have so much. Like
Yeah.
at
How do
least
you organize your B-roll footage?
yeah, how do I organize it? I organize it from places, and 3 categories: places, like general, like city. If it's like general city, like parks
Yeah.
and stuff like that, because I don't want to say like, you know, park. Like I just say general city life, like type of stuff. Then like you know, like places of interest, like buildings, like real, like Carnegie Hall and like churches, like famous places, like famous installations and places like that. And then people, because basically those are the 3 I kind of roll around. Because if I need something, I just like I need a time lapse of something, like I have longer footage, like mostly in the city one, like in the general one. I have like a lot of long clips that I turn into time lapses all the time, like motion time lapses, not real time lapses. Like sometimes I record for like 40 minutes and I sit there until the battery dies or nearly dies, and then like that's footage for like a big time lapse that I can chop up several hundred times in any fashion I want.
But don't you find that when you go back to edit, it just like takes so long because you're speeding it up?
Yeah, sometimes.
Yeah,
it
like,
depends.
that's what I found, at least doing that method. It just it really eats up your data.
Yeah, it eats up data, but like that's the thing with data, you know, you have to supplement it now. Like it's not like 5 years ago or 10 years ago when those files were 720p or those JPEGs were only 8 megapixels or 6 megapixels, still big files. Like you were still cutting down on time lapse. I was doing 6 megapixel time lapses 5-6 years ago, and they were still like at 1080p, like munching at data, like. And that was a thing that I was talking to somebody about yesterday too. Is like data, like companies want you to hold on to their project for you.
Yeah.
Okay, that was the thing I ran into yesterday, which was very interesting. And I charge people for that. If I have to hold somebody's data for a month or a year, there's specific time frames. Like if you want it for a month, it's going to cost you this much because this data is being stored here. You're entrusting me. It's going to cost you money because I will keep that trust. I will keep that because I need that space for something else.
I agree. I honestly, whenever I write an invoice, I always have a byline for memory, and then I charge them.
Smart,
like, just like it's basically I'm charging you hard drive space.
Yeah. That's what it is. It's like if you rent anywhere else. If you rent storage space at a storage place,
I'll keep it indefinitely unless you tell me otherwise.
Yeah, unless you tell me otherwise. I have an indefinite rate as well, but I also have like 30 days because most of the time it's just 30 days because they want to just like once they get rid of it, it's disposed. Yeah, in case, right? So
I'm also just like really care. Like I think, like me personally, I can be a bit of the word pack rat. That's
okay,
the word.
pack rat.
Yeah. So personally, I'm trying to get rid of that like physical items, but digital. I'm just
piling down. Yeah, that's a new thing now because I watched a documentary about that. They documented pack rats and like hoarders in England, and it's like 5% of the population. Yeah. That's a huge amount.
It's bad.
It's really bad. But I never thought about the digital hoarding that people are doing.
I've heard that some people say it's a good idea to digital hoard because data is so cheap and it only gets cheaper all the time.
But so is junk. When you think about it, when you hoard, junk is cheap because it's free. Maybe some people get off the street. Maybe people just get a newspaper. Newspaper's cheap, and then they pile newspapers in their house nonstop. You know,
it is like
they can't get rid of it.
Yeah, I just make sure that it's always really well organized. It's like if it's not like everything's by project based. Yeah,
that's a different type of hoarding. That's good. Yeah, it's not just like random, but some people have a random. What's crazy about that documentary is that these people, it looks like chaos, but they know exactly where everything is, which is like, what?
But I don't believe that they actually know.
I don't believe they know. I don't. Me either. I don't believe that either. But it's that conflict. I'm like, do they know? Like that's the inner workings of the wire. That'd be very impressive. And a lot of them had like, social disorders and stuff like that. They were, all that stuff. But then it was very interesting. But the digital one, that's so interesting because like. I try to keep my space limited. Like I try not to buy too much hard drive space because then I just want to fill it up more and more. Like my whole entire network of like drives, at least I think I have about 42 terabytes of like drive. Most of it's empty. Half of it's empty. But that's my max. I'm like, why do I need to even add another drive? I had added another drive in about a year or two. So I'm just like holding back. But I want to switch over to SSD. Yeah. Because I'm slowly switching. Like I work on my laptop, everything is SSD except for like just dumping final projects on a regular hard drive inside because I have 2 hard drives inside the laptop, and then an external SSD
yeah.
running through USB 3.0, which runs faster than the hard drive internally, you know, to do scrubbing and footage and stuff like that. So yeah. But yeah, how do you document stuff? You were kind of lightly saying about that. How do you document your
it's interesting
footage?
because like I don't collect B-roll the same way you do yet.
Okay.
So everything's because I also have my own personal stuff that I have set aside. So if it's something that's not product based, I have it set in like I did this on this date. I actually need to go back now and start probably writing down. Oh, like I shot this on like have a document. Where it's like each day.
Document. That's so smart.
Yeah, like just an Excel sheet or Google sheet, something like that.
Yeah, that's smart. I have to get on that because like I have
it's
so
so
much.
easy to forget.
Well, yeah.
But then it saves you so much time afterwards.
And like my personal stuff, I have more. What's funny is I have more personal stuff than I ever do professional stuff. Like all my professional stuff, like all my personal stuff, I have at least 4 or 5 terabytes worth of personal that I have not documented properly. Like, but I document my professional stuff perfectly. And I'm like,
classic.
I guess go like 2016. I do it the worst. Like I go by year, like a year worth of like traveling and stuff like that. But
I
my project I do. Oh, really? For your personal stuff?
My personal stuff.
Lucky
it's by
you.
Day.
It's chaos for me.
It's also by what camera was shot on. I also have a difference between
not me.
Stills because
stills. Oh my god, give me stills is a nightmare for me.
Oh I separate
at least
everything.
40,000 photos I have over the past 7 years.
Yeah, I also have a template where it's just like every single month I can just duplicate the template and then change the month and then it has all 31
that's
days.
That's so good.
Yeah.
I know people do it like that. I can't do that. That for me that's overkill. Chaos. No, it's chaos.
It's chaos.
No, it's not overkill. It's completely reasonable for me. But for me, my brain can't process that.
Interesting.
It's chaos for me. I was like, what is this? And like I just changed the title inside. I changed the folder type. And I changed the title sometimes to be like, this is birthday, and then birthday 01 all the way down to the end of it to 1000 or whatever if it's photos, you know. But that's my extent. I still think that's not enough because like there's so much data, and for data's so cheap now, and I think people can edit a lot faster now because of the hard drives, and you don't need to worry so much about processing speed. I think if you change out your drives and your laptop to SSD, you're pretty much good to go for 1080 and below. Like
4K is
4K is
questionable.
Questionable. If you're only on a most laptops now are either dual core, like mass produced dual core for like 3.5 gigahertz. You know, it can do 1080 pretty much squeaky clean. But once you go over to 2K, 4K, it's like, what is going on? Because the processing, you're dealing with 4 times the image or 2.5 times the image. It's just like. And plus, like the software, Premiere Pro can't do 4K very well.
Not yet.
It can't.
It's like that's my one gripe about Premiere Pro.
Yeah, it's rough.
Is that it's like I see Final Cut, I've used it, and I'm not a fan of the editing methodology behind it, but it can handle 4K.
It can handle 4K. Yeah.
It can handle.
So can DaVinci. DaVinci can handle 4K pretty well.
I know.
It's insane. So it's like the Paint. I realize it's the Microsoft Paint of video editing. Because it loads so fast. DaVinci loads so fast. Yeah. It's just a little complicated, but once you get through it, it's like a dream. I like using it a lot. I'm slowly switching, and I think...
I'm still holding out a little bit, but I know it's the new kid that eventually...
It's the new kid on the block, you know what I mean? Like, but it's been around forever. Like, it's been around in television forever.
Yeah, it's been around for color grading.
Yeah, color grading forever.
Use it all the time.
All the time. They're like, what are you guys talking about?
Yeah.
What do you know about this stuff, you know? Yeah, it's so true. Coloring is something I want to... There's a place in Italy, I think, that does coloring, like it's like a not a masterclass, but it's like a seminar for like a week, and you go there and you learn to do color grading.
Ooh, I might
and
have
it's
to do
really
that.
good. Yeah, it's really cool. I was reading about it a couple months ago, and they do it every 2 years, and it's like this colloque of like people, and they get people from like Technicolor and stuff like that. They come and you just work on coloring, and like after that, you're like. You understand. You've got a concept. Yeah, you've got good concepts to create your own. You know.
It's because like that. Yeah. I think that is a forgotten part of post-production a lot of times.
Well, in film school, I don't think they even do it. I don't even think they do it in film school that much. Like
I don't even know how people actually become a colorist.
I don't know.
It's how does one decide? Okay, I'm gonna just like dedicate my life. Just to color.
Yeah, it's a maze. It's a maze of like being a professional, being in specific guilds, like specific, being a registered filmmaker, or all those, different types of things. It's a complicated procedure that a lot of people don't know. Yeah, I have to have water now. Finally, give me the water. Just a
He
little
gave
bit.
me hell for wanting to get water.
Yeah. That's
And then
it.
I knew.
Yeah, that's it.
Oh.
And so, yeah, being a colorist is something special, and like, how can, yeah, it's still something I want to. That's something I want to do. Maybe eventually, is go there for the week and like learn a little bit more, because like Da
That'd be
Vinci
really
is pretty
fun.
cool.
I might join you on that.
Yeah, it might be cool, something to experience. Because
Yeah.
why not? You know, it's
it's-
because schools don't offer that stuff. You go to university, NYU, they don't. There's no like summer course for coloring at NYU Film School or anything like that that I know of.
How did you learn a color grading?
Just through the hard knocks of like
Hard knocks?
like a lot of reverse engineering of like Philip Bloom's old stuff, old color grading stuff. Philip, if you're listening, you're amazing, and you follow me on Twitter. Watch this podcast.
He talks about you on a very personal level.
Yeah, on a very personal level all the time.
He's mentioned your name.
All the time, exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a lot of his stuff. Yeah, that's it. A lot of his stuff. Shout out. Hey.
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall today.
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall. Yeah, and like a lot of his stuff is really interesting. His color grading procedures. He hasn't talked about it much in a while, but like he has stuff. Yeah. There's a lot of ways to learn on YouTube. But it's really overwhelming because a lot of people have very different tastes, and the tastes right now tend to be more of the wish-washed, and like I'm more pronouncing like you have to have flat profiles and bring up stuff. That's cool. That's a really good beginning aptitude to do stuff, but you also have to realize like a lot of people, especially in film, when they used to do film and they still do, like you have to deal with real world like. If I have a crappy camera, if I have a crappy Panasonic something or whatever, any type of camera, or even a camera phone, I have to be able to learn how to manipulate that to make it look better.
Yeah.
Like, what if you don't have a vlog profile or any of those types of things? What do you do then?
Yeah.
You know, you can't have the benefit of the doubt sometimes that you can do. So you have to, I think, even learn from the worst footage you can make. Like, use your camera phone, or use your phone on your camera, and try to color it a little bit. Yeah. Try to bring out one or two colors. You'll learn a lot more through through bad footage, I think, personally. That's how I learned a lot. Yeah. Like, I remember coloring through After Effects, old After Effects on we did like stop motion films when I was way younger. We did stop motion films, and it was color grading through Photoshop and through After Effects, like early Photoshop and early After Effects, like each frame coloring and bring stuff, because the color we just like clicked, we couldn't do anything because it was fixed aperture, everything was like, what do? We want to make it look a little bit better, and we learned so much from that, because like the tendencies, like, and that was really bad footage, 1.2 megapixel frames,
just the quality there.
Yeah, but that's stop motion, like if you did stop motion is a good way to learn for coloring as well too, like because you have to keep that consistency through all the frames. And then change it a little bit, because what if a light comes through or
changes everything?
Yeah, because you can't change. There's no manual on that old camera. So a lot of ways to different learn, but I think it's super overwhelming to learn on YouTube. What about you? How'd you learn? Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah.
No worries. Like, this is the thing. I actually get a subscription to lynda.com. So that's where I learned.
Linda's great.
Yeah.
Linda's a veteran,
It is, and it's curated, which I like. It's so.
Did you press record? I am so sorry. It went off.
It went off?
I think so. It's at the top there. Red button.
So that's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting to see how long. You're just gonna see me for a while if that cut out.
I was always watching it.
Okay,
it's good. Yeah,
caught it?
Well, yeah, we'll just have you talk. Whatever, that's okay.
No, just because it would just be funny, just me sitting here drinking.
Because that's there's audio going. Like, you're really interested in what I'm saying.
I am, but I also use that.
Oh, that'd be an amazing editing technique. They're like, wow, they just risked it all by just leaving him just looking at it, you not even talking, no movement.
No. It just because I also usually when you're talking, I take a drink of water or something. So I'm just gonna have all my background.
I don't think it'll be like that. I think it's gonna be good.
I might just throw it in there just to kind of see, just to make a laugh.
Yeah, just to make a laugh out of it. Oh man.
It actually kind of reminds me of the Conan bit where they tried Final Cut.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh!
That's incredible video. I love it.
That's what made Final Cut get like they made fun of it so badly that it ruined them.
Oh yeah.
It ruined them. They had to rebuild.
Everything.
And they're like, oh no, this guy destroyed us. Like, I'm sure
and that's
they
so
have such a bad
genius.
rapport. Yeah, so genius. Yeah.
Oh my god.
That's a great one. And I just watched it, I think yesterday or the day before. There was
It holds up so well.
It holds up so well.
The star wipes.
Yep. The star wipe. Oh. Yeah. I was like, what?
Go watch it if you haven't. We'll put it down
go
below.
watch it. Yeah, you have to. It's one of the funniest things of all time. If you're into anything video,
it needs to be watched.
It needs to be watched.
Yeah. Anyways, back to the story of Linda. So That's actually how I learned pretty much everything I know about film.
Wow. Linda's like, they've been around since the very beginning. They've been around for at least since 1999.
And they're legit now because they've got bought out by LinkedIn.
Right.
And then LinkedIn got out by Microsoft, I believe.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think Microsoft is now the umbrella
of everything,
of a lot of things.
It's the overlord.
They've always been the overlord. It's just now they're just swallowing up entities all the time.
Yeah, left, right, and center.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've
Linda,
taken...
of course. Linda's great.
Yeah, so I've taken specific courses, usually through like DaVinci Resolve courses that deal with color because I find that gives the best kind of understanding to then apply it back to Premiere.
Cool. Yeah, because
it all comes the same methodology.
Pretty much. Like, yeah, there's a lot more. The thing is though, like in DaVinci, it's really all out there, so you can see everything that you can do, give or take. But with Premiere, it's all there, but it's all hidden within. It's all hidden within, and you're like, you have menus, and you have to have multiple windows open that you not necessarily open. Like you have to go into window and like choose your workspace, and then it'll open all the ones that you want. Like if you're doing color, it'll open all the color windows. And if you don't have two screens, it's a bit chaotic. It can be a bit chaotic. So, but it does have everything as well. Like as much as like Premiere has gone forward and they've gone backwards, and now they're in the middle again, because they used to use all the cores in the computer. Now they don't. Like CS5 was the last one to use it, and now it's like this mishmash again of like. It's not performing as fast as it can. It's like
Adobe's a weird.
Adobe's it's a beast in itself. It's a love-hate, but I love it too as well. So
what's your favorite thing about it?
About Premiere?
Well, Adobe.
Yeah. Oh, they're just in the forefront of everything. They're on the forefront of like creativity. You know, they're on the forefront. I like their stuff, and their subscription service is smart. You know.
Yeah, I'm personally a fan of just like how you have the like specific piece of software for each use case.
Each use, totally.
So like I all the time I use Illustrator, I use After Effects, I use Audition to clean up audio.
Audition's amazing.
It's one of those things. It's just like that is my workflow.
Yeah, that's your workflow.
They've sucked me in.
Yeah, they sucked me in too. Like it's like After Effects, Premiere, Audition. Those are my three. Yeah. You know, and like it just cycles between the two. Sometimes I don't use dynamic link. Because I'm just old school that way. I'm like, whatever, open that file, then I'll throw it in. Yeah. And then that's it. Like I don't need to do those things. But
my favorite thing about Audition though is being able to remix tracks. Yeah. So like you can actually just shorten it. It's like, oh, I need this song to end in a minute instead of 3.
Yeah.
Audition and it does it automatically. It's just
Audition's been amazing because like they were swallowed up, or they actually bought the software from Cool Edit, which is this old I think German. It's Audition. They bought them out several years ago, and I was using that way before any audio editing, any video editing even was like in my book. You know, like I was a 11-year-old, 12-year-old using Cool Edit. You know, like recording off of I forget what I had. I had a little Palm thing that journalists use. You know, to record people. I was using that. It was like a PCM. Wave thing.
Oh my god, I can imagine
like
you doing
Olympus.
that.
I think it was an Olympus or something. I was just like recording stuff. We were recording stuff, and like I was just recording sounds. I still have some sounds, like when I was 12 years old, like stuff that was going on around and like traffic. I think like traffic from back then or whatever. That's not really that far ago, but yeah. And I would use Cool Edit, and Cool Edit was the best thing. And when I saw that Audition, time had went by, and then Audition came around, and I'm like, oh, this is Cool Edit. And I'm like, I looked at it. I'm like, it is Cool Edit. I'm like, they literally bought them out. Yeah. And like, that was it.
Changed the name.
Changed the name, but it's all the same.
Wow.
It's all the same. Tiny little cosmetic things, but it was pretty amazing. And it was such an easy transition for me. Yeah. And I had, in between, I used Audacity all the time because Audacity was just quick. It opened up fast. It was like, again, the Microsoft Paint of audio, you know, and that was around.
People still use it.
Yeah. So many people still use it. It's so hardcore. Like there's a big base of people that use it, and it's pretty interesting. Did you hear that Microsoft Paint is going defunct yesterday?
Really?
Yeah.
No, I didn't hear about that news.
They're gonna shoot it out of existence.
That's kind of sad.
Yeah, but they're gonna replace it. Well, it's already there, but 3D Paint.
Oh yeah.
So 3D Paint's gonna be that, and a lot of people are complaining because like MS Paint's like.
It's just a staple.
It's a staple. Like I still use it.
It's like getting rid of. Oh my god. The Minesweeper.
Oh, Minesweeper, but also remember the pinball
game?
Pinball game and Freeski.
Yeah.
Freeski was the best. I don't know with the little Friggin', it was like a little skier, and you had to move it. That was like 95.
Yeah, oh my God,
free ski.
that was
You can
great.
still get them online. Like,
You can.
there's open versions of them. But the
just-
pinball, yeah, Space Pinball, Space Cadet
Pinball.
Cadet
I played
Pinball.
that so much.
Oh yeah, and it was
That was my
always
childhood. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it was like
always-
great, a pinball game, but
oh,
you're just like,
I
it's
love
on a
pinball.
computer.
Yeah, it's on the computer. And it was
Yeah.
always a trial version. You know,
Yeah.
it was the longest trial version of any game that everybody's ever played, probably for sure.
I don't know if anyone ever actually paid for the full
No,
version.
no one ever has, I think.
Yeah.
And like when
That's
you
a bad
did-
model for a
yeah,
game.
but like I could never get to the very end of it. Like it was so difficult.
Yeah.
And like it just felt like
I
it
always
went
lost,
on
yeah.
overall. It just felt like it went on and on. But like the sounds are classic. Everything's classic about it.
Yeah.
But there's even some videos about Space Cadet that's very interesting to watch on YouTube. But yeah, they're getting rid of MS Paint. So there was this huge slew of people on Reddit that were just like knocking it, like
course.
why are you doing this? Like people still do screen cap, like I do. Like it's the fastest way to make big huge files smaller if I need to do something, or if I go if I screen capture, and print screen, and then I just go boom boom 3 clicks before I even touch the mouse. It's already open and already out there. MS Paint, like Photoshop takes forever to load.
Yeah.
Like I have that fast computer and it takes forever to load. Why is this possible? I have a subscription service. Like it should load fast.
It's just
Photoshop.
because there's so much.
Yeah, stuff that it's loading up, right? Because it's manipulating photos of big frames, right? So it's doing stuff. I understand, but
Yeah.
like
I know, it's annoying.
MS Paint, I can load up the
Because it
file
has
and go
such
right
a
in.
small feature set.
Yeah.
And it's so quick.
So yeah, it's so sad. So rest in peace, MS Paint when it comes out. When it goes away.
We'll be sad to see it go, but
Yeah, but there's a 3D paint, like you say, you can do like 3D light 3D modeling on 3D paint.
I'm pretty sure
the
they
creative
also
version
have,
of Windows 10.
the capability of taking 3D photos and then
Yes.
it gets pulled into
You can,
it.
yeah. There's stuff like that. They're really trying to like extend the life of the
Yeah.
new creative, because it's part of the creative update that they did for creators, like creators, for Windows 10.
Classic.
Yeah, classic, marketing, but
Yeah.
it's really cool. So yeah, coloring is also, like I said,
Yeah.
it's a different thing.
We've jumped around a bunch today.
Yeah.
It's been good.
It's been pretty good. I would say we wanted to talk about speculative work last time.
Yeah, we did.
I would like to close in on that because personally, like, you mean for speculative work, there's a grand thing for it. So you mean like you do like a little pitch
Yeah.
of a video, and whether or not you get paid or not. I always charge for it. If that's what you mean.
Yeah, that is what I
Yeah,
think.
that's what. Yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
it's like the idea of, because usually the ways I've seen all creative stuff goes, that you want to pitch a client because a client wants to know
Sure.
what you're actually going to envision for
Totally.
them.
Yeah.
And sometimes in that, they'll actually want to see an idea of you shooting what you're going to want to shoot. And then it's like, I always have that issue where they're like, oh yeah, so you're just going to do this for free. It's like, wait a minute.
Nope.
Yeah, it's like, if you're asking me to do work, I'm going to charge
Gonna
for
charge
that.
you, yeah. It
like-
doesn't speculative works, nothing. Like, if I pitch them just words, I don't charge them for that.
Yeah.
If I'm like, this is the idea, if you can't understand the concept from what I say, then it'll cost you this much to make 30 seconds so you can understand
Yeah.
better. But it costs you if you don't understand this. Because I try to make my pitches as clear as possible, and anybody should. Like,
Yeah.
practice
that's a
your
real
pitching. Yeah,
talent.
it's a real talent. Yeah, and you should. And but it's a talent, but it's also something that can be practiced as well.
Yeah.
And learned. And I think
Well,
there's a
I
lot
think
of
with any talent,
Yeah.
it's more about like the amount of work you put into it.
yes.
It's
Yeah, if you show that inside a pitch, because pitches have substance, and if you give enough, there's a good amount. If you should put enough substance in it, people can grasp onto it. If it's like just a light idea, like person's walking down the street and sees a diamond ring in the window, no one's gonna. They're like,
Yeah.
"What's that?" But if you
Yeah.
say other stuff like, "Oh, there's," and it's like this person's coming out from an adventure or whatever, I don't know, all types of things. You have to add things to that story. There's a really good thing with the guy who made Community,
Dan Harmon.
Dan Harmon, the circle of a story,
Oh, yeah.
the story circle or
Yeah,
whatever
it's
it's
like
called.
the four
Yeah, the
points of a story.
It's the 4 points of a story or something like that.
yeah.
It's super good. That is a very good little pillar of like learning how to pitch fast, because you give beginning, middle, end.
Yeah.
It's
It's the journey. It's like you start somewhere normal.
yes.
transform
into like all types of stuff like
Or
that.
it's also the prestige,
Yeah.
where
it's a
you show
prestige.
something normal, you make it disappear, and then you bring it back.
Then you bring it back and makes the people want
Yeah.
it. That's like marketing
I know.
101.
I also
for
just love how
people.
Christopher Nolan had that in the Prestige, and then he did it with the Batman trilogy.
Batman with
The Dark Knight.
yeah.
Oh my God, it was just it's
Yeah.
so incredible when you look at that.
Yeah, when you look at it like that, that's the way he did it, because that's all. That's what it is. That's so
That's what he always does in everything.
Yeah.
I'm really excited to see Dunkirk.
Yeah, Dunkirk. It's gotten a lot of. It's been underrated right now, unfortunately. But I saw a lot of interviews. I saw a lot of behind the scenes. Amazing.
Yeah, I hear it's a masterpiece.
Yeah, I heard it's really good, and it's. I don't feel it's picking at that genre, because they're trying to really find stories.
Yeah.
That happened, it's a
It follows
dramatization.
3 different stories, I believe.
Yes, that's right, 3 or 4, and it's like very interesting. So I'm looking. That's something I really put on my bucket list to watch, and especially in the movie theater, because
I think that's a real.
Yeah, cinematic. When it's really that's cinematic. When you do stuff like that, it's like you want to be immersed in that experience, because it's a dramatization of something that happened.
'Cause it's different going to a movie theater and getting that full experience.
Yeah.
Instead of sitting on your couch watching it through.
Yeah,
your
totally.
TV.
No. Like I would never watch a drama or like a mystery in a movie theater. For me, that's not for me. I get enough suspense. Those types of films drive enough suspense to be at home.
Yeah.
But you can't get that experience when you're watching. When I watched, Saving Private Ryan or anything at home, I'm like, I don't get it. I don't feel it. Like
You don't feel it in your bones because
No.
like, those soundtracks are made to.
To like just
feel it in
shake you
your body,
around.
yeah.
Yeah, just shake you around and put you in that spot with them. So I'm looking forward towards that. But I think you'll get a lot of nods for sure. But like, what a great what a great film. So yeah, and then so that's spec work. If that's spec work in general. Yeah, don't. My advice for a lot of people is just like try not to get swindled
into doing free
into
work.
doing free work.
Yeah,
and that was
It's true. It's just stand up on that front. It's like the best video. I think I mentioned this last time potentially, where there's a video that we're gonna put a link down below this time.
Yeah, we can still do it for the other one too.
Yeah, that one too. But they have it's the idea that it's like there's a couple examples of places where like you could have the idea of like, oh, I want to see like test you out, and it's like you don't expect that person to work for free the first time. So like finding a gym trainer, you're not like the first like workout. It's not free.
No, it's not.
Or like
Nothing
going
like
to a
that.
coffee place. Like you're
Yeah.
trying to find like a go-to coffee place,
Yeah.
but you're not going to get the
So
first
gotta-
coffee for free.
No.
That's insane.
That's
It's just,
insane.
Yeah.
It's all about loyalty too. Like if you're going to be working with a brand,
Yeah.
you have to build the loyalty with money as well,
Yeah.
because that's what money talks. And like if you pay, it's only your dollar will return. Like
course.
it's just how it works. If you don't do it that way, something's a bit shady about your business. I think
is.
in a way.
But I also think that there is a flip side sometimes where there are certain projects that maybe you do not paid. Sometimes not for companies usually, but if it's a real project that you really believe in and you see
Yeah, that's different. Yeah,
it's
of
different.
course. Yeah,
But,
that's
like,
way different. That's
it's like you have to. It's that fine balance of understanding. Is this something that is this experience something that I would pay for, and like just by doing free work, it's actually worth it in the long term.
Yeah, totally. No, absolutely.
yeah.
But that's what
That's
it is.
very
Passion
different. It's
project-
like-
it's very different because in most ways for me, when I do something like that, I not only believe in it, but I know it should be necessary in the world.
Yeah.
Like it has value. I determine how much sacrifice I want to put
Yeah.
in it, and usually I have no deadline, but I try to put deadlines and then make that out there, and I put it out there, and it's sort of like disposable content, but meaningful disposable content. Because that for me, I don't want to put too much weight on it because then it becomes an obsession.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I learned with personal projects a long time ago. Is like I can't be obsessed about them. I have to love them, but I don't have to be obsessed about them.
It's like there is a point in any project where you have to let it go.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So
Because it's easily the rabbit hole, especially
Oh
once
my
you
gosh.
are into post-production. You can
Oh.
be there forever.
forever, and that's another thing that we could talk about forever. Is like post production. Post production, it could be very short, or it could be very long.
Yeah.
I think it could be both, and it could be in the happy place in the middle. But like, it all depends on the project,
Yeah.
right? All depends on the project. There's no perfect methodology for post production.
Yeah. There's no strict timeline, I find. It just
No.
unless
No.
there is a timeline where like, oh, okay, this
Oh,
needs
yeah.
to get released, and then okay, well, there's a timeline.
Yeah, there's a timeline for that. But I mean, like sitting there and doing and like being nitpicky about things. It's like that. So
Okay.
lovely. So this
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah,
We're
it's a
here
good place to wrap
good
up.
place to wrap up. And be sure to like and subscribe to Two Guys Edit Podcast. We're also on the iTunes.
Yeah, we
We're
are.
on the iTunes podcasts, our iTunes library. Just search Two Guys Edit Podcast, so you can get us on your RSS feed and get us whenever we upload to iTunes, and yeah,
we'll be coming back because we like doing this.
Yeah, we love doing this. Second time around.
And we'd love to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, hear your thoughts, and you can definitely comment down below. If you're listening on iTunes, definitely hit us up on YouTube and say your comments on the video as well. You
don't be shy.
Don't be shy. That's it. So this is Nick.
This is George.
And we'll see you next time.